Before I get into the news coverage today, I just wanted to apologize in the past because regularly I wanted to do like once a month Cybertruck production update videos, but during the last one, there seemed to be a lot of criticism that I was considering them updates when a lot of the time I was just referring to, status of construction progress, and a lot of people thought production update meant that Tesla had announced something and I had some kind of exclusive scoop. I'm really genuinely not trying to be the typical clickbaity YouTuber that just lies all the time in the thumbnail and title. I do want the thumbnail and title to reflect what the video is about. That's why I always wait until after the video has been completed before I make the title or thumbnail, but I've decided to change up the naming a bit here because while some of it is rumors and some of it is actual evidence, it's not made up stuff or anything, I don't want anybody getting confused by the term production update. So I'm changing the terminology to production hints, so it's a bit more concise, and I hope that in the future people don't misinterpret that term of hint, because that implies that it's not from Tesla, it's not like official postings or official updates. But I love speculating, I love covering the news, and in my opinion, because of vehicles like the Cybertruck being so exciting, no hints or no rumors are too small. We want to talk about everything that potentially could be happening because this truck is so bizarrely different from all other vehicles that have ever launched, and we all want to know as much as we can about it. So a lot of the time I will highlight things in these series that I don't think are legitimate or you should believe, but most of the time it's trying to draw attention as to why production is getting closer and clues and hints to look for. With that out of the way, we should start with one rumor that doesn't have a lot of validity, but definitely something that could be happening. Is a source from Teslarati claiming that the first battery packs that Tesla will be using in the Cybertruck will actually be built at the Fremont factory. This one I personally had a hard time believing because Giga Texas is already ramping 4680 cells. Tesla has said they've already been testing the second generation of 4680 assembly. So why then would they want to have this giant section of the facility that's much bigger than the Cato Road pilot line they have in Fremont, and yet they still want to assemble the battery packs at Fremont, which we already know is kind of tapped out and there's not that much space there anyway? Build all those battery packs, which are probably going to be huge. Cybertruck will have at minimum like 120, 130 kilowatt hour battery pack. If you think the range is going to be over 300 miles, then it'll probably be even more than that. You're gonna have to ship these massive big battery packs all the way from Fremont to Giga Texas just to get production going. Little bit of a stretch in my view, but the truth is Tesla has time and time again ended up not using 4680 cells in places we thought they would. Originally they said the first Model Ys coming out of Texas would be 4680, and they were for a while, but then they started mass producing lots of 2170 Model Ys at Texas. And last year they claimed that the Tesla Semi needs 4680s in order to be ramped, and yet here they are building Tesla Semis with, we're pretty sure, 2170 cells, or at least Elon confirmed it's not 4680, so we're pretty confident that means 2170. So perhaps in the event that the backup plan is in fact that the Cybertruck, in order to get the energy density right or to hit the volume the way they want, maybe Tesla has a plan B option to manufacture the Cybertruck with 2170 cells. And if that's the case, building the packs in Fremont might actually make a bit of sense, because the vast majority of 2170 cells in North America that Tesla is using are built at the Giga Nevada facility, but they may not have the tooling or assembly lines to build the specific Cybertruck battery packs they need. So perhaps there is a small battery pack assembly line in Fremont that's going to be using 2170 cells from Giga Nevada, because there's basically no 2170 cells being built at Giga Texas. Not now, and there's really no immediate plans for there to be any. So maybe that's what this rumor is pointing to, is the initial production of the Cybertruck will be with those older cells, but if they're good enough for the Semi, I don't know why they wouldn't be good enough for the Cybertruck. But long term, I definitely don't think Tesla wants all battery packs for the Cybertruck to be built elsewhere. Tesla's talked about it many times, especially at Battery Day, that the long-term goal is to have the batteries assembled at the same place as the vehicles. That would be the cheapest way to operate manufacturing, and it would not require all of this excess shipping going on, which is happening right now. Tesla wants to avoid that, so they may have to just wait a little bit longer until 4680s are able to be built at such a high volume that they don't need 2170 cells for it anymore, but who knows? But this report definitely got a lot of traction, and I had a hard time grasping it, but Teslarati has had exclusive drops in the past. Plus, we know from Elon Musk's behavior on Twitter that he follows them as a news site. He comments on their articles all the time, which means there's a very decent chance they posted this article, Elon Musk saw it, and in the past, Elon has discredited things that weren't true. He will reply to certain articles saying, no, that's not the situation, or this article is false. So he could have said something if that wasn't true doesn't necessarily confirm that it is true, but I'm just saying he probably knew about that article. Moving away from more of the speculative nature from unknown sources, Hydra finally confirmed something that we had been hearing through anonymous sources in the past, which is that the 9,000-ton Giga Press, which Elon has confirmed this next generation huge Giga Press is intended for the Cybertruck underbody, that has finally been packed and ready to go. They posted this on their LinkedIn and basically are showing off that yes, this next generation press is heading to Giga Texas, but there were, again, anonymous sources claiming that for the past month, and those same sources have said that the Giga Press has already arrived to Texas, and it's just a matter of getting this giant, massive manufacturing equipment to the official factory. But at the time of recording, Jeff Roberts nor Joe Tegmeyer have spotted any photos of this giant box, which thankfully, I mean, it should be pretty easy. It's made of wood and it has Hydra's name and logo on it, so once that arrives at Giga Texas, I think it will be pretty obvious, but that will once again tie into the Cybertruck tooling stage that Tesla now lists on their shareholder deck. No, the Giga Press is not the only thing you need to manufacture the Cybertruck. Obviously, there's a lot of components that go into production, and in my previous videos talking about production rumors, there were a lot of sources claiming that the robots that manufacture the powertrains for the Cybertruck are now being installed in the factory. So once again, the puzzle pieces are moving. This does not mean the Cybertruck is entering production next month. You know, the last Giga Press that Tesla installed at Giga Texas took several months for them to install, test, and calibrate. So does it necessarily mean Tesla's going to hit their mid-2023 Cybertruck timeline? I don't think as closely as a lot of people think. I often believe that Elon and people internally at Tesla are imagining things based on when they're going to start seeing it and not so much when we are going to start seeing it. So keep in mind of all the stages of Cybertruck development we have to get through first. We're in the tooling stage right now, which means all of this manufacturing equipment is arriving at the factory and getting ready for the official assembly line. But after that, there's going to be lots of beta units. Elon said he's waiting on his beta model, which should be available in the next couple weeks. And then you'll have lots of employees driving them around, testing them, even though they're not for sale yet. And before official deliveries begin, we will very likely get an EPA filing where we find out the efficiency of the Cybertruck. And at that same time, we'll get a confirmation on the range. So I'm really hoping Tesla could do an official Cybertruck update post, whether it's a video or a site refresh or something, where they disclose what the actual range numbers and final pricing of the truck is going to be, because those EPA documents are legal and public, and we're all going to find out what the range is anyway whenever that's filed. And I think it would be better if Tesla was controlling the narrative, because I'm predicting the range is going to be a lot worse than people were anticipating. But after that EPA filing, there will probably be employees deliveries first, just like how Tesla employees got the 4680 Model Y several months before any non-Tesla employees got them. So I think it'll be the same story with the Cybertruck. Tesla will say, okay, we've started deliveries, but they'll all be internal, and all of those employees won't be able to talk much about them. They'll be ironing out the kinks, finding out any quality control issues, and keeping that all internal. So Cybertruck deliveries, they're not going to sneak up on us. They're not going to arrive sooner than you think. But yes, the Giga Press installation is definitely a big step of that process. However, a much bigger one that I'm more curious about is not so much the underbody of the truck, because we know Tesla can make giant castings very efficiently with these Giga Presses, but what Tesla has never done before is the exoskeleton. And really, any car company has never done this before, and they actually do have some leaked photos of some test bodies, at least, first spotted by Joe Tegmeyer flying around the Giga Texas facility, so thanks again for doing that, Joe. But there were several wrapped Cybertruck bodies that obviously couldn't really be anything else. I mean, there was some more vague wrapped packaging in the past, but this one is pretty dang obvious. And Elon Musk even confirmed the existence of them, because Omar was tweeting about them saying, cover it up so they can't tell what it is, and Elon replied, curses, foiled again, you know, jokingly. And then someone inside the factory actually got some pretty up-close pictures of people wheeling in the exoskeletons, and this absolutely brings a lot of questions to my view, because it means that Tesla is probably, you know, prototype developing exoskeletons, maybe from Fremont, and then shipping them over to Giga Texas so that, you know, certain parts of the assembly line can be tested and calibrated. So my prediction, there's speculation, of course, on this channel. If you don't like speculation, don't watch my videos, but I'm guessing that Tesla is testing a lot of different parts of the Cybertruck assembly line, and the part that builds the exoskeleton has not been installed yet. So they're importing test exoskeletons that are pretty dang close to the official final design spec so that they can see how they perform when reaching a certain part of the assembly line, whether that's meshing with the Cybertruck underbody or installing the structural battery pack with the interior attached to it already. efficiency or how the powertrain is going to harness itself to the exoskeleton and things like that. So while this does prove that Tesla is likely working on the assembly line at this point, I still think we have a ways to go because Elon has mentioned in the past, no one has ever mass-produced an exoskeleton like this before. It's the same kind of steel that they use on Starship. It's very rigid, it's very hard, so you can't use the same techniques you use for the Model 3 or Model Y exterior. You have to use some very clever and elegant pinching and laser cutting materials to get like a origami lesson out of this really, really thick, durable steel. So that will, of course, make the Cybertruck as iconic as it is and make it as extremely durable as people want it to be. So it's a pretty important thing to get right, and that's why I'm more interested in all of the equipment and manufacturing lines that are going to make the exoskeletons possible than I am the Giga Press, because that's something that Tesla has already done and proven works. But yes, it is cool that the new Giga Press is even bigger than the last one. Yes, that's exciting. And my last bit of hints that I wanted to share with you guys is a video posted by a guy named Astro, who seemingly caught up-close footage of the Cybertruck beta model, I think at Cyber Rodeo. I don't think this footage was recorded very recently, but it definitely wasn't posted until now, and it kind of gives us our best look yet at a production-ready, or at least road-legal Cybertruck, because it has the mirrors, it has the big old windshield wiper, and even the brief look we have of the interior looks pretty final. There's not that many wires or exposed things hanging around the inside. But what caught my eye the most in this video that Astro posted was the open bed. Now, the good news is one of the videos he posted showed the tonneau cover closed, which before, with all of the other pictures we had seen of the Cybertruck production model, the bed was always open, and a lot of us were worried if that beta model didn't have a working tonneau cover. This one probably does, even though he didn't get a video of the tonneau cover opening and closing physically. You can tell shortly after he recorded the first video, there's footage of it open, and you can tell that the second row seats don't have a window behind them. So I don't think that's the production intent design, but it points to the idea that Tesla may have a collapsible back window, and what I'm really hoping for is the midgate, which we've seen in Cybertruck patents in the past, the concept that the second row can fold flat. That way you can have your whole 6-foot bed plus the whole second row if you're just planning on sitting in the front seats, which gives you a lot more space to work with for a truck. And having that midgate, I know a lot of people gloss over it because, you know, Rivian doesn't have one and F-150 Lightning doesn't have one, but aerodynamics and efficiency play a much bigger role with electric pickup trucks, which is why I think it's important to have a midgate, because that implies you can fit more things in the bed, keep that tonneau cover closed, whether it's a surfboard or skis or a kayak. While many people may be comfortable with just mounting those things to the top of the truck, that's going to eat into aero and that's going to make your range a lot worse. So having a midgate kind of implies or encourages a lot of customers to not attach things to the top as frequently so that your efficiency and range can be better. So I think a midgate's pretty important, and that back glass being gone, which we hadn't really gotten a close-up look of before, points to the idea that the Cybertruck will have a midgate. The Kilowatts was talking to Tesla employees at Cyber Rodeo that allegedly said that the Cybertruck would have a midgate, but nothing really concrete. But either way, I was really excited for that news because I want it to be true, and that whole black bed liner, I wonder if that's going to be a lot more durable than what the original Cybertruck prototype had, which was just, you know, bare steel everywhere. But I like the concept of having those adjustable hooks that you could tie in yourself to the bed, and I'm not sure if this new flat black material or bed liner that they're using for the inside is going to work with that. But either way, it's a pretty up-close look of the likely close to finalized design of the Cybertruck, which I'm excited for. Although one thing that was missing on this prototype footage was there was no rear-wheel steering. Even though the Cybertruck was backing up and trying to turn pretty tightly, we did not see those back wheels move. Maybe they turned that off on the prototype model, or this one just simply didn't have it. I don't know. But as of right now, that's pretty much all of the Cybertruck production hints that I can share with you guys for today. But of course, feel free to keep me posted with any and all other updates you guys hear about or find, because I don't think any piece of news is too small when you're talking about a vehicle this exciting. So what are you looking forward to? What are you excited about? All that good stuff. Let me know your thoughts down below. And thank you to everyone on Patreon supporting this channel directly. Seriously, helps us out a ton, as does just watching these videos. So thanks again. Have an excellent rest of your day.